introduce yourself to the class, please?
Yes. My name is Dr. Jerry Ferris. I am the director for COM 325, which is Interviewing Principles and Practices.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us the recent change that you have experienced in your work life or family or professional field?
Yeah, I am a member of IMPACT, which is stands for Instruction Matters Purdue Academic Course Transformation. So it's for faculty members. I was a cohort for this a year ago, but it's a 3-year program, and what they do is they want you to redesign your course or to make it better, right? So I took over this job a couple of years ago, and in process of that, I decided that the course needed to be redesigned. So last year I started the process, and this coming January, which is about a month from now, we will roll out the whole new course. And the change is major because I've also written a textbook for it, because the new textbook that came out a year ago last January, which was the 14th edition of the book they've been using for many years in this course, was going to cost the students $160.
Okay.
So I worked with Purdue Press to write a new book that's a concise guide to interviewing. The problem with the old textbook was that we only used about half of it, and it was expensive. So this one will be $10 online, but the students never lose it. So it's published by Purdue Press. I've written it to include all of the major parts that we use in the course. So that'll all be rolling out in January to all of the sections. In the last 3 semesters, I've piloted it with 2 or 3 sections of the class. I teach 2, and then I also have a number of grad students under me who teach the course. So I train them how to teach it. And this January, all of us will be teaching the redesign model. So it's going to be a major, a lot of the stuff is similar, but there's a lot of change in the course.
Okay. So like looking back to your change process of redesigning the course, did you experience a sense of loss, or you feel like you have to let go of something or someone?
Yeah, the thing I had to let go of was the old textbook, and that really was pretty difficult to do because it's always fairly easy to just say, read this chapter, right? But what I had to do in the redesign was develop some online PowerPoint lectures that students had to watch before they come to class, and then take a quiz before they come to class instead of using the textbook. So that required quite a bit of work, and I did that as a pilot, like I said, to see how it went. And then it ended up that I wrote the book, which is very short. The chapters are short. Instead of being long with a lot of theory in them, they're much more, as the course is, very practically oriented. So the hard part was calling the professor, who used to be a department head here in communication, and to tell him we weren't using his textbook anymore. So there was I guess you could say, a bit of a fear in that, but he was fine with it. He said, do whatever you have to do. So the great gain, of course, is that the new textbook only costs $10 for the students. It's free online, and they never lose it. In fact, as I make updates to it, it's going to be on SkyPack, and the students will be privy to any changes I make in it. So any new links that I put up to the textbook or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
So like during the ending or letting go, people often feel a variety of emotions. Denials, angers, bargaining. This is all like a negative emotions, but I think you have like a positive emotion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I really feel like my emotions in relation to this are very positive. I'm really excited about it. I think it's a good change for the students. I enjoy teaching something new and fresh that makes me a better instructor. So for me, change is good. Doesn't mean it's not challenging. It doesn't mean I don't have some degree of fear, wonder how this is going to go. But basically what I do is tell the students, you're kind of guinea pigs. We'll see how this goes. If it isn't good, I go back to the drawing board and say, let's try something else instead. So
okay. So like during the time between your change, loss, and your new beginnings, how would you describe your life, your experience, like your professional teaching?
I guess I would describe it as being intense in terms of time spent on the class. It is a lot harder than just taking what was handed to me, 3 years ago and just going with the flow and using the new textbook. So there's a lot more energy that's required, a lot more time. You know, I probably with my pay, I'm probably making like $10 an hour or something. Yeah, I don't know, because I spend. So that part of it is, but again, I say that's because if you enjoy teaching and you want to try some new things, then that's just part of the deal.
Okay, so was there opportunities for doing things differently or in a new way?
Was my opportunity to do it, could I have done it differently?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. You know, I could have gone, for example, what they call the flipped classroom is where you do all your lectures online that students have to watch before they come to class, and then you do, I could have just done that instead of write the textbook. I decided that after hearing some of the students respond to the lectures that they had to watch online, I think having a short chapter for them to read and apply with a quiz or something is probably just as good as an online lecture that they tend to get glazed over on. So
okay. So were you more creative about your effort?
Yes, definitely. I would say that because of what I chose to do in terms of change, it definitely required that I be creative. You know, and I could be more creative. I could probably be even better. I could do more research, obviously, but you know, as I did the process, I used a lot of different materials, and that's why it took so much time.
Okay.
But I could definitely probably be more creative. I'm always asking for more ideas from students.
So what was your new beginnings for the change process?
When did that start, you mean?
Like what was your new beginning? Like when you feel you're going to the new phase of your
okay,
change?
the new phase, well, it's kind of been in phases in a way, because I started a year ago last fall when I was first in Impact. I started at the end of that semester. They tell you to just, you know, start at the next semester, but I really wanted to get going on it, so I added I introduced a whole new unit in motivational interviewing, which hadn't been in the course before, and I had that in place before the end of the semester. Then during the next semester, I just did some more changing, and this semester I wrote the book.
Okay.
So, but the whole thing starts as a whole new thing in January with the new semester.
Okay.
So all the sections will be using the new textbook online, and yeah.
Okay.
So probably keep changing things every semester, though, to some extent, because it makes it better, I think.
So like, how did you know you were there? How did you know you were in the new beginning?
Just because it's going to be the new textbook, and this will be the first time that all of the sections, and I think there's 14 sections of the class, 24 kids in a class, so you know, around 300 kids. It'll start in January, all the new sections. So actually before Christmas break, I will meet with all my TAs and teach them how to teach the course, basically. Well, I do that all semester, but I'll introduce them to it. So
next year they're going to have a whole new count through
in
3
January.
to 5.
Yep.
Okay, so looking back of the change, how do you feel about the change process you have been through of it?
Yeah. I feel like I just said, I feel very excited about it. I think it's going to be a good change for the students economically, of course. And I have quite a few of my own. I have several children of my own, and they've all graduated from college debt-free. So I'm kind of all about trying to help kids as much as I can do that. I actually don't get any money for writing the book. That's why it's $10, because there's no pay to the author, you know. So, and that's fine. That's good. You know, if I can help kids this way, then I'm fine with that. So I think it's going to be a good change too in terms of refreshing the course and making it more up to date. There'll be more online things, more links. But the cool thing about this SkyPack thing that the kids are going to get is that, you know, if something on YouTube, for example, goes out, you know, you get the little thing that says no longer available. Then I'll put up a new one, and then in the way this whole thing works, it keeps up to date all the time.
Okay.
So I can take off an old link, add a new one. I don't know for sure how it works.
Okay.
But the textbook then, what the cool thing about that is the textbook doesn't go out of date.
Okay.
You know, so you don't need a new edition. You just keep updating it every semester, and that's pretty cool. And in fact, the kids that buy it this coming semester will keep having access to the newest edition.
Okay.
So I think that's really cool. Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to do it again, would you do things differently?
The only thing I'd like to do is do it for another course, actually. You know, I'd love to see this happen in another course that I teach. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because, you know, everybody's pretty linked into, everybody's pretty committed to using the textbooks on a lot of courses. So I don't know for sure what that means, but I'm going to be in conversations with people about that.
All right, that's all. Yeah. Thank you so much for the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome.